Good Sunday morning to you. Yes, we got back from the Jewett City Flea Market about 45 minutes ago or so. And so I'm back into the shop here. Welcome to part 3 of the EMERSON 336, I believe. A couple of you viewers told me that's what the model is and provided some photos from a couple of different sources, and yes, 336, okay. Of course, the schematic from Radio Museum is virtually impossible to read, but I don't think I'll need a schematic, basically, because it has never been worked on, so nobody messed around with it, and so far the resistor color codes I'm able to read and not a problem. Right now we're at a point where we got to test the tubes. Speaking of tubes, there will be maybe a video on it. The guy that I got this radio from and the other radios from was there today. As you probably saw the Jewett City looking at things today video. At this point in time right now, Tommy is editing that video. It is 12:15 noon. So that video, of course, you no doubt have seen. It's already up there. And this is part 3 of the EMERSON, formerly the unknown 1940s radio, and I'm in the process of testing the tubes. But I paid $1 for this. Now normally I wouldn't bother showing you. Brand new, well, new old stock, one of these like flat iron type of cords, black rubber. It's never been unraveled. It's too good to cut off and put on a radio. Could go on this. Pictures of this radio shows it having a black cord, but this is not polarized anyway, so I'm not going to destroy this. But as you've seen at the end of the Flea Market Jewett City video that is going to be uploaded today. By the time you see this video, it'll probably be Monday, but whatever. I got a whole bunch of tubes here. Yeah, I showed you, and if half of them are good, I'll be very happy. I paid $10 for this box. Here's a metal 6L6 just to give you an example. This is an RCA, but this is a JAN, Joint Army and Navy, so, oh yes, it says RCA on it, but it don't say JAN. Yes, it does. Okay, so that's encouraging. The question is whether the tube is good or not, I don't know. But I'm going to be testing these, and I'm not going to spend a lot of time on this video. The 6BK4, of course, is shunt regulator. This looks brand new. Yes, they're normally dark up here, but that's like brand new. I don't do color televisions anymore. And with this digital crap now they got out now, televisions are pretty useless unless they're hooked to cable or satellite. Here's a 41. I'm not going to go through this because this video is about this radio today, but this is going to be for another video, and we'll find out if I got all duds or do I have good ones. That'll be a future video. Right now I'm going to use the nice if I turned it right side up. I'm going to use the B&K 606 because this tester will test them. Alright, now the first tube I want to test, I fixed this tube with a wire tie around it. Hold it together. 12SK7, I believe. SK7, correct. Alrighty, so let's I still haven't found my other one. Oh, it's hard to see these things. They keep getting messed up. Yeah, that's better. 12SK7. I doubt the tube would be good. Probably wasted a wire tie on it, but pretty bad. I need a magnifier in addition to my reading glasses. No, I'm in the 13s now. 12SK7. 12. Here we are, way down here. 12SK7, well, we know it's 12 volts. A is 40. B is 6. Okay. C is 4. Alright, 12SK7, 6, 4, and socket 3. I would be very surprised if this tube is any good. I don't expect it to be any good, but I needed to firm that socket up. It don't appear to be lighting. But they have a dark top on them, but like I say, it might have gone to air. Well, didn't go to air. Well, it's not reading good. It starts out. Starts out at 70%. Oh, now it's stopped. Not reading at all. There it goes. Probably got a bad pin. Alright. Well, now it's climbing good. It's halfway into the good. Very little grid emission. See if we got any shorts. I seem to have a lot of trouble with tooth pins lately. Now, what did I say C was? 3. Okay. Now it went out again. Well, I'm almost certain I do not have a 12SK7. It could be in that big box of tubes. But it did not go to air because it wouldn't keep coming on and off like that. The pins are not corroded. If I'm not mistaken, I think I had a problem with this octal socket on this tube tester too. Not 100% sure. Well, at least with one other tube. Nothing now. Push that over a little bit. Alright, we're going to say that that tube is no good. Let's just put that over here and let's continue on here. Could be every tube in this radio could be shot. Alright, we got a 35Z5. Let's test the 12 volt tubes first, which are metal. That way we don't have to keep changing over. 12SQ7. Alright, 12SQ7. 2 tests on that. Oh no, there's 3 tests on that. Well, A is 42. 12SQ7. 42, 6, 2, and 8. 6, 2, and socket 8, which is down here. Alright. The other octal was socket 3, which is above it. I could be having trouble with the socket. I will know if I can dig out a 12SQ7, the tube I tested before this. Possibility I could have a whole bunch of bad tubes in this thing. You're really supposed to test for shorts first. Alright, we're back. We'll make sure we go back to 2 again. Virtually no grid emission. Tube reads good. Okay, so that one is good. Clean that up. And you know the tubes are marked on the top of the tube sockets. The numbers are engraved white. So we have got a 12SQ7. Now, I can't. Got it written down somewhere. Yeah. Rather than to try to, I can't focus my magnifier down in there. That little magnifier has a very limited range of about like 1 inch, and because of the backing on this radio I can't read it. So 12SQ7 goes right here. So put that in. Alright, let's see what the other 12 volt tube is. 12SA7 probably. Yep. Years ago I used to remember every tube. You know, it's coming back to me, but you got to remember I've been out of it for years. I've been out of it all my life, coming to tell you the truth. Alright, so 12SA7. Let's see where we are with that. Oh, we're over here. I like these single. Oh, you know, I didn't test the second half of the tube and the third half of that other tube. We'll have to go back and do that. Yeah, that 12SQ7 that I tested, I only tested one section. There's two more to test. As far as emissions concerned, there's no shorts. You only, when you rotate this, you're testing all the elements anyway, so the other two settings would only be for the other sections of the tube for emissions. This is an emission tester, by the way. 12SA7. All right, let's go to the 37 here first. 37, 6, 5, socket 3. Now that's our socket 3. That's the one that the other tube didn't work in good. I'm not condemning that other tube yet. The one with the wire tie on it. Because I will put it into my other tube tester. Alright. Let's check for it. Alright, we gotta go back on 5. Back on 5. Very, almost no grid emission. Okay, that tube is good. Alright, now that's over A7. That goes over here. And we got to pull out the 12SQ7 again and test the other two sections. Trying to rush, you know, and that's not good. Takes you twice as long to do something when you're rushing. 12SQ7, we already tested the first section. So we got section 2, we got to set A, which is the shunt control, to 82. That's really up there. 6. We're already at. And 4. And socket 8. Okay, that takes it socket 8 also. Yeah, as you saw on the video there, the radios are too large, and I don't have the room for them, and they don't appeal to me all that much. And that big one there you might have seen in the video, looks like a Grundig or something. It's got 4 speakers in it, 2 woofers and 2 tweeters. Tweeters are on the ends, on the inside. I have no need for it. I have no room for it. I don't know whether it was a Grundig or what it was, but I don't have the room for anything big. I don't have the room for these things, but, you know. Alright, now we already tested for shorts, so... Oh wow, we're way over there. Alright, well that's what it calls for, 82 on the shunt control. Also the last test goes to 5 on here. No grid emission there. All the way over. Alright, that's a good tube. You know, I got good deals. I just hope that that big box of tubes pans out to be a good deal. Alright, we've got... Yeah, we got one more. Maybe we don't have... No, I think this is a 50L6. That's a 50L6. Let's test the 35 first. I'll tell you why. I test the 50L6, and if I don't pay attention and have this set on 50 volts for 35, you know, I'd rather start low with the filament voltages as it goes up, you know, do it in that order. Very rarely do I forget, but it does happen, and especially with my conditions now. 35Z5 is the rectifier. So let's look that up. See why these videos are so long. Needless to say, I am not going to test that big box of tubes all on video. I'll do some of it. 25, 28, because it takes me way too long. Could be several hours. 35Z5, 35Z5, there we are, way down here. Okay, 35. So with if you're familiar with the B&K 606 Dynajet, you want 35. The way this filament switch is set up here, you have 1 volt, 2 volts, 3 volts, 4 to 5 volts, 6 volts, then you got 7 to 8 volts, 9 to 10, 11 to 14, 15 to 20, 21 to 29, and 30 to 38. So that's just the way these testers are. Like on your Hickok and stuff, you can step it all the way up. This tester will not test tubes like 117Z3, which is a real old rectifier tube that runs off 117 volts on the filament. I think most of you know that the first two numbers, or the first number, depending, is the filament voltage. I hear people saying like a 12AT7, they'll say 12AT7. It's not 12AT7, it's 12AT7. That's an example. But I've heard people call them out like that. The first number is the filament voltage. So I just thought I'd pass that along for what it's worth. That and $1.50 will get you a coffee in most places. Inflation, you know. Maybe $1 in old McDonald's. Okay, so we got the filament, a 35Z5. We 33 on B, so let's bring that down to 33. B is 3. Alright. You can see it takes me quite a while to test tubes. It's too easy to make a mistake. I've done it many times, even as slow as I go. You set a dial wrong or something. You can damage a tube or condemn a good tube because you got your settings wrong. B is 3. C is 5. Socket 3. Okay, that's the socket I had trouble with. Where's the... oh, here it is. Alright. Socket 3. But I don't think it's the socket. There might be a broken wire in this tube here that I repaired the base on. Could be a broken wire. Looking at the bottom of the pins, they look okay. I usually do is I reheat them up again before condemning the tube. I used to have tube base cement, but I no longer have that. I don't even think they make it anymore. I guess they use epoxy. You can't use, I understand JB Weld has metal particles in it, so you don't want to use JB Weld on that. And I don't think that's lighting. Beginning to wonder if this socket is bad on the tester. There's only one way to tell. When I'm done, I'm going to bring out the Radio City Products tube tester, or the night. That tube is dead. Let's just verify my settings here. 35Z5 filament, okay. 33 on the shunt, 3 on B, 5 on C. Yeah, we are correct. Tube is ice cold. What blows the 35Z5s out are bad filter caps. Do I have a 35Z5? I have a 50L6. I have 3 of them to be exact. Nope, not there. Nope, so we're dead in the water at the time. We can't test the radio out. We don't have it. I just got a very, very small tube inventory. I could look through that, and I might. I'll stop the video. I'll be back in a minute. Well, my friends, not one 35Z5. But boy, if half these tubes are good, I struck a gold mine for $10. I pulled out all of them, looked them over. There's even an 807, which is a transmitting tube. That alone would probably bring a few bucks at a ham auction, but I can't test those. They have to be tested. I think they require several thousand volts on the plate. It's taped. I would assume that this came from an estate. Maybe this guy buys a estate. I don't know that seller, the one where I got the tubes from and the radio from. I don't really know him. He sees me there every week. Boy, it's a good thing I went back for the 3rd time to see this box. Well, there's going to be a different video on this where I'm going to go through all the tubes that I've got. Because I went through some of them here and put them back in. There's tubes like 41, 78s, 35Z6, which is not a substitute for 35Z5. NJRT radio tube. It's an unusual, nice looking box. OY4, and looks like an OY4 or 0Y4. 75. I haven't pulled them out to see if they're 80 rectifier. Most of them are in boxes. 6A7. Another 41. A 7695. Not familiar with that one. There's a couple of empty boxes here. 6L7. It's like an original RCA box, that's a real old one. 41. I'll pull all these out of the boxes and test them, but it's going to be another video for that. Looks like a 6K7. Yeah, this is the metal 6L6 that I think I showed you. 6SK7. 6LF6, sounds like a horizontal output tube. There are a few 6GH8s used to be used in color televisions for chroma reference oscillator. 6GH8s were known to short very easily. It's just a type of tube, the elements are close together, and we used to sell a lot of them, and they used to short quite a bit. 7695 again, a 75, a 6BK4 shunt regulator, I showed you that. I'm not going to be doing any color televisions, that's for sure. I'll probably put that at the ham auction. 5U4, I don't know, it's taped up, I don't want to pull the tape. Well, it's already open, okay. Let's see if the condition, see if it's new or used. Now this is used. So they could all be bad. I have no idea. The guy told me he doesn't know, but he did say, well, there's a lot of advertising here. In other words, all these tube boxes. I could have all dead tubes. Possibility. 29KQ6. That's definitely a television tube. Compactron too. Looks new. 29KQ6. I have a few television tubes I'm going to get rid of. Oh, great. I'll just stick it in there for now. I'm going to get rid of at the ham auction anyhow. This looks used. A 2A5 2-volt filament. $41. Looks like a 6A7, just barely make it out. The reason I'm taking so much time now is I'm at a dead standstill. I can't test this radio. I don't have a 35Z5. I did find a 12SK7 in this box. I will test it, so I'll be able to replace that tube, unless it's my tube socket here. This is a 6A7, yep. I'm going to go through these properly in time. And we got another 6BK4. And the 807 we put in here. We got an empty box, but there is a tube loose in here. And over here, I pulled these out, a 12SK7, which will replace this one if it is bad. 12SQ7, which tests, I believe, good. That over here. Another 12SK7. So we'll leave that over there too. We gotta test those. So, alright. I think we're going to end this video. This is part number 3. There's going to have to be a part 4. But I'm going to have to order from Bob Dubush. And he takes at least a week for the stuff to come. So I'm going to order the 12DT8 for the ear radio. And the 35Z5 for this. And I think I'm not done testing yet. I got to test the 50L6. I've got 50L6s, new old stock, so I don't need to worry about that. So let's get the filament back down to 12 here. Get my glasses on. Let's make sure I'm recording still. Yes, I am. Alright, so we know the 35Z5 is no good. So this is a bad 12SK7. Let's see. Let's set it up for, let's get back onto the 12 volts here. What did I say? 12SK7? That mind like a sieve, honest to God. Cannot remember numbers. 12SK7. SK7, alright. SK7, 12 volts, of course. Which in this case is 11 to 14. 40. 6. 4. Socket 3. Socket 3 was the one that would not read. We're going to put the old one back in and double check that. And now this is Scotch tape shut too. I got to get some more Scotch tape. I got to cut the tape. I do that myself on the boxes. But I don't tape the boxes shut. What I do is if a little flap comes off, I tape them. I'll do that after. This looks like a new one. RCA, and that's what's in there. Now it's working. I'm going to change it anyways. Change it anyways. Let's put the new one in. I'll redo the pins on this. I don't like to condemn a tube until I'm 100% sure. tube a little loose, and sometimes, you know. Give it a time to heat up, and then we push the button. Right up there. No good emissions. No shorts. All right, let's put this baby in. That alone is almost worth the cost. But I'm sure that I'm going to have a few good tubes in there. Now let's test the 50L6. Before we do, let's put this back in. And let's put this other 12SK7 in the box here. It's going to take me a long time to test these. I'll probably go over this again. There'll be a lot of tubes I did not read off to you. I hit the mother lode, as they say. Yes. She's reading. Why didn't it before? We're not condemning the tube. All right. We will put this tube over here, and we'll proceed with the 50L6, which is pretty crusty. If it tests good, I'll clean it. If it tests bad, we're not going to clean it. Alright, and we got to make sure we put that filament voltage down when we close up here, the tester. We're on the 20, so we got to move here a little bit. And the 8 volts. I think I might have gone too far. CV numbers. 59, 58, 57, 55. Where the hell is 50L6? I know it's on this. 59.95. We got 1280, 1611, 1852, 2050. That's a Thyratron tube. Where's the 50L6? I know it's in here. $30, $36, $38 HE7. Oh, here it is on this page. 45 Z5, 50 A5, 50 L6, there it is. Boy, I'll tell you, it's how long it takes me. You'd be here all week testing our box of tubes. All right, 50. Well, that goes all the way up. 34. 6 is B. 5 is C. Socket 3. Yes, my favorite socket. Socket 1 and socket 3s get used quite a bit on this tester. You got two octal sockets on here. You got socket 8 and you got socket 3. That's why I wanted to double check that other tube so many times, because that's reading weak. No grid emission. Let's check for shorts. We got to bring it back on to 5 again. Now, he's reading about a third into the green. Let's drop the filament voltage. This is how you test for life on a life test. So let's drop it down to 35 volts. Well, it's 30 to 38. And if it nosedives, that'll tell you it's a very weak tube. It's very short-lived. It's not nosediving, it's diving just a little bit. But it is going down. A quarter into the scale. Oh, now she's going down. Down to the very low of the green. Now she's going into, starting to go into the yellow. I think we'll put a better tube in that. It's going into the red now. Let's bring it back up to the 50 volts. She's climbing right up there good. Well, she's halfway into the green, which is, on this tester, full scale green is 120. Half scale is 90. 92 to be exact. That's what it's reading. So it's reading okay. But I've got new ones up here. Alright. Put the tester back down to 1 volt. We don't have a power switch on this. We just have to unplug it from the wall. Alright. I'm going to end this video. And you'll see this, well, you're actually watching it now, and I'm sure you've already watched the Jewett City flea market video, which Tommy is working on. It may even be done by now, I don't know. So, okay. I think we'll take that 50L6 and stick it in the radio for now. Goes in here. We're not going to bother cleaning it. I'm going to put a new one in there. I've got 3 new ones up there. But no, I'm going to look in the shop. I got another location. I got my tube drawer up here. But as I recall, I don't think there is a 35Z5 in there. Yep, 35Z5. Quite common for the rectifiers to blow. Alright. That's it. I think I did damn good today, even though I didn't get a radio, but it's alright. Thanks for watching. This concludes part number 3. When I get a 35Z5, we'll go on this. Meanwhile, there will be maybe the tube testing. Because unless I find a 35Z5 up in this drawer up here, I'll do that off camera. Take care.